I want to tell you a little bit about my story and who I am. So, let's go. I was born here in Salt Lake City. And I was raised here in a Danish-speaking household in Utah. And now I live here in Sweden. Let's go back to the beginning. My mother is from Copenhagen, Denmark. She immigrated to the US to go to college. She met an American, and voila. She said that when I was born, when I came out, that I looked like a Dane. And so she named me Dane. Yeah. This is my mom.
Hi.
She named me Dane.
I did.
Why did you name me Dane?
Because you looked like a Dane when you were born. You were very blonde.
So I grew up speaking Danish, but in the United States. And to make things even more funky, I married a Swede. And early on, we'd spend our summers in Sweden, and I took classes, and I learned how to basically convert my Danish into Swedish. And it works out all right. By the way, Danish and Swedish are extremely similar. Often, Danish and Swedish use the same word, but pronounce them differently. Other times, the Danish word means something completely different and often inappropriate in Swedish. And way too many times, I find myself saying ridiculous things in Swedish because of my Danish. And that's just how it is. So my wife and I decided to move to Sweden a couple years ago. And now we finally made that move. Why did we move? Well, we explained that more in detail in this video here. But basically, we feel that the quality of life is much higher in Sweden than it is in the US. We love that we're not dependent on a car to get around or do anything. We love that there's universal health care. And I really like the culture, the nature, and we wanted to raise our kids here. So that's why we moved. So that's why we moved to Sweden, but my plan for being here in Sweden, let me tell you. For all of my life, I've been Dane the American. Also for all of my life, I've been Dane the Dane. Now, because I'm a Danish citizen, and I'm married to a Swede, if I live here in Sweden for 3 years consecutively, according to my research, I then can apply to get Swedish citizenship. And maybe you can see where I'm going with this. After 3 years of living here, upon which point I receive my Swedish citizenship, I can then call myself Dane the Swede. I'll be Dane the American, Dane the Dane, and Dane the Swede. It's not necessary. It's not needed. But it's something I want to do. Because it just sounds kind of fun. Because I can, okay? I am, however, really interested in what does it even mean to be from somewhere? You know, when I can call myself Dane the Swede, what does that even mean? What does it mean to call myself Dane the Dane or Dane the American or wherever you're from? I'm really interested in that idea, and while I go along on this journey to become Dane the Swede, I want to investigate both what it means to be Swedish, to be Scandinavian, but also also generally, like, what does it mean to be from somewhere? Do you have to be born there? Do you have to speak the language? Do you have to have the culture embedded into you? I'm really interested in that. So, let's find out. Who would have thought that you would have given birth to a Dane who would then become a Swede?
Det er lidt ret morsomt. Min far, he will turn in his grave.